What is an indie game? That is a very important question. Indie games are everywhere these days, and most people don't even realize that some of the best games, including story and gameplay, are developed by indie developers. I will go into further detail a little later to clarify on some of the greats in my opinion. Who is classified as an indie developer? There are two different categories that indie developers fall under, and the name indie derives from the word independent, which consists of the developer releasing the game without the use of a publisher. The other use of the term indie consists of a small studio roughly containing 20 or less members to create the game. The question most hobby developers or indie developers ask themselves, which game engine should I use? Which can be difficult for the beginning developer, as well as every developer that thinks they can make their own game engine. Making your own game engine takes a lot of skill, so it's better to start off early with already built engines to help. After you get used to developing video games, then you can decide whether or not to design your own game engine, after using the ones that are available. Two game engines that are available for indie developers to develop for PC, as well as consoles if the time comes, are Unreal Development Kit, or UDK, which uses the programming language C++, and Unity, which uses C#, JavaScript, and more. When looking at different game engines, an indie developer may think to themselves, what programming language do I plan to use? Which is an overrated but important question to ask yourself. Every language has its difference. As a biased opinion, I prefer C++ and C# as my personal favorite, but I do also like to dabble with Java as well, which has a lot of similarities to C#. There are a lot of different languages available to learn though. This includes C, C++, C#, Java, Lua, Flash, and many more. The choice is completely on whichever you are more comfortable with using and have more knowledge of the library available. Art and music is a very important aspect to video games. Without the art, you wouldn't really have a visually based video game. There are three different types of art that can be used, which includes two-dimensional and three-dimensional art styles, as well as an isometric view, which is a 2.5 dimensional. It's more of an over-top look-down view. The music or soundtrack for the video game is also an appealing factor to the video game. If you had an annoying soundtrack that drove the player crazy, which would consist of screeching or screaming, they wouldn't play the game for long at all. There are so many tasks that are involved in video games, and indie developers have to conquer these tasks, which in general is art, music, or programming. There's a lot of hard work and dedication in making video games, and takes a lot of time and patience as well. Now, some video games that I love that are indie games includes Limbo, which is about a boy who is trapped in this dark world and is trying to find his way out, pretty much. I don't want to spoil it if you haven't played it. Another is Thomas Was Alone, which I played on the Vita, and it's squares that have backstories, really good backstories. And let me see, what's another good one? Oh, well, the Journey is another good one. I haven't played it all the way, but the soundtrack for it's like really soothing, and it just entrances you when you play it. But I don't know, I'm getting off topic. I have a lot of dead space. Indie gaming is, I don't know, it's more of a personal hobby that I enjoy, and I believe that as long as you don't take it as a job, it can be really fun to do.